Hello boaters, welcome to Narrowboat Journeys. We're on the Llangollen canal and I'm just left my overnight mooring at Whixall, which is very near the Priest Junction, and in this video we're travelling about 4 miles to Colmere, and Bridge 55 will be the nearest one I'm going to moor up to. This is just before we get to Ellesmere. We're not going quite that far today, so sit back and enjoy. Over to the right is a very large boggy area called Whixall Moss. There are some walkways through there. You may be interested to have a little wander. Today's boat trip is very simple and uncomplicated. It's just a straight cruise through some really pretty countryside. There's no lift bridges, no locks, it's just an easy cruise. Over to the right there is a pathway leading into Whixall Moss. That's one of the walks that you can do. And there's another little walkway into Whixall Moss. That one doesn't go very far, but it does give you a good view of the vegetation that you're going to see there. I tend to boat along quite slowly, and just as I'd set off, another boat decided to come up, and he was catching me up, so I decided to let him pass. Overtaking narrowboats does require quite a long distance because it's a bit of a slow process, so you need a nice straight piece of canal with no other boats coming. Anyway, even though this was supposed to be a nice, simple, straightforward trip, it wasn't without a mishap. This oncoming boat sort of forced me under these overhanging branches here, and it took the sack trolley off my roof and almost smashed my window. You watch. Put a big scratch in my window glass. The sack trolley was chained on, so I didn't lose it, but it could so easily have broken the window. I was lucky there. Fortunately, the rest of the trip was uneventful, although the canal was noticeably getting busier around here at this time of year. Well, here we are now approaching Bettisfield. There's not an awful lot here. I think there's a pub, and I think there might be some sort of village shop. Not sure about that, but just before the bridge here we do have 2 water points, and down the bank I think there's rubbish disposal. You've probably noticed that as I go under bridges, the boat rocks from side to side. This is because I'm looking down each side of the boat to make sure I've got enough clearance, and my weight shifting from side to side rocks the boat. The other thing to be careful on a lot of these bridges is they're often on bends, and with the busyness of this canal you've got to watch out for oncoming boats. There's some lovely peaceful places to moor up around here. There's no busy roads nearby at all. In fact there's nothing really apart from isolated farmhouses. This whole area is crisscrossed with lots of little country lanes though. It's got a nice place to explore. That boat in front of me is a hire boat, and to their credit they're going very slowly. Trouble is, they were going so slowly that even my engine in tick over, I was still catching them up, so I had to keep putting it into neutral to slow down, and they stayed like that for ages. Must have been over a mile, and eventually they let me pass. Which is the polite thing to do. They should have let me go past a bit sooner, really, like I did for that boat earlier. But I don't suppose they were to know. But I'd rather they go slowly than too fast. There's far too much of that going on the canals. Eventually they realised that I wanted to get on a little bit faster, and they pulled over and let me go past. On the left here is some sort of camping caravanning park. Looks quite pleasant actually. So I overtook that hire boat, and they're a short distance behind me now, and this approaching hire boat was going pretty fast straight for that bridge. I think they had to do it a bit of an emergency stop, because as you'll hear from the soundtrack, they went even faster when they'd passed my boat. Over to the left is Colmere. It's a beautiful lake, mostly surrounded by trees, and you can walk all the way around it. This bridge is one way to access it, and there's another way a little bit further down, and it's well worth stopping near here and having a walk around that lake because it's really quite beautiful. Just before Bridge 55 there's some visitor moorings. I did contemplate stopping here, but I changed my mind because it was under the trees and I wanted to get a bit more solar power. These houses on the left, they're quite unusual and very beautiful. So this is Bridge 55, go left over here and a short way down the lane there's like a footpath which leads all the way around Colmere. Very lovely, and there's some absolutely stunning houses down here as well. We're about a mile or so from Ellesmere at the moment. Up ahead is another beautiful mere called Blakemere. There's an absolutely lovely place to stop as well. Just after that you've got the Ellesmere Tunnel, which is a short one, and then lots of visitor moorings on the other side of that. I'm not going that far today, so I'm stopping here because I wanted to stop and have a walk around Colmere before I went on any further. So in the next video we shall carry on to Ellesmere. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Maybe not today.